So when I first sort of was introduced to Mind in Bradford, I was in my final year of psychology. I started off as a volunteer here, and I was interested in the role of a befriending volunteer role, because I needed more sort of experience with individual experience with mentally ill people, just so I can sort of get my foot in the right career path, and I needed a bit more sort of experience in that area, and one-to-one befriending was probably the perfect sort of opportunity for me to do that. So I think it's a very sort of a specific terminology when it comes to mental health. In mental health context, it's more of helping them get out of isolation, or targeting their mental illnesses or issues, or helping them sort of cope through their traumatic issues, and helping them achieve their specific personal goals, in a more, where the friend comes in befriending, it's in a more friendly environment, because you're not being formal. It's not a counselling session, it's more of a informal chat, a conversation, but in that conversation you're trying to reach an outcome as well. So for me, that is what befriending means. We're giving the profile as well. You'd see, or maybe I've been giving 4 clients so far, and I saw that they needed help in building confidence, which is a very sort of common in when it comes to sort of mental health issues. I've dealt with 2 clients who were clinically depressed, and I worked with one client who was a survivor of domestic violence. And in the broad sense, it is to sort of build the confidence, but when you sort of spend enough time with them, like even like 3 sessions ahead or 2 sessions ahead, you start to realize that the problems are actually quite specific to their personality or specific to them. Confidence isn't just being able to talk to someone. Confidence in even being able to get up, or being able to, just do basic mundane things like being able to brush your hair or brush your teeth or go out and buy something or talk to someone in the till or a shopkeeper or wherever it is. It's not confidence in a very social aspect, it's confidence in yourself. A human is so complex that you don't realize like the branches of issues that are sort of flowing within them. This was the first time I had practical experience with mental health, in a mental health setting. My course is very theoretical, so being able to sort of combine that together and apply it was a bit difficult. And I would say that initially I did think I was thrown into the deep end, because there was a pressure that I was given a client who's not mentally, healthy, and I'm supposed to, help them feel better. And it's not like I'm therapizing them, but at the same time I sort of am, because I'm spending alone time with them for a whole hour or 2 hours sometimes every week for 12 weeks, and I don't know if my progress is making an impact, and I don't know if I'm even going to make any progress, and I don't know if I might say something insensitive, because I'm not actually trained in specific sort of mental health issues. But that wasn't the case at all. Actually, you learn as well. It wasn't just the client benefiting from me, but I was benefiting from the client, because that was me broadening my skill set and my experience. And in the middle of the session, or like after the session, or I would get a call like saying how much I helped them in that week, or how much they feel better, and how they've been improving, and how they've been getting up early in the mornings. It almost made me tearful around that time, because I felt like I was really making an impact. So far, I've had 3 clients that have received full 12 weeks of support. I've been successful in helping improve their health for all 3 of those clients, and I'm basing this off the feedback that I received from them and the feedback that they gave to your employees, the staff in Mind. It's not like I'm saying that I completely healed their mental health, they completely, transformed recovered from their trauma, which obviously is never the case. I mean, you always have good days and bad days, but when you have an individual person giving so much attention to you in that time, you automatically start to improve a little bit anyway. So I'm just sort of encouraging them. I'm not actively helping them, but I'm giving them motivation, I'm encouraging them, I'm coaching them, and then just seeing how they go. I initially, when I did my A-levels, I was adamant on doing medicine. Choosing psychology was kind of not planned for me, and me being a very sort of organised person, that was quite a setback for me initially. I was very uncertain about it for the first 2 years of doing this degree. Then, the third year came around and I was preparing for my dissertation, and I realized, let's just commit to it. Let's just see where it takes us. And I think you don't really realize how important helping someone, whether it's a physical illness. At the end of the day, medicine is more physical sort of recovery and rehabilitation, and working in a mental health setting is more emotional and mental sort of recovery. Either is important. There's a balance. You need a balance between both of them. You're mentally healthy, you're physically healthy, and you don't realize how interesting it is until you're actually put into that situation. And through Mind, when I was put into that sort of position where I could help someone, my words, my impact can physically help someone improve, that changed my perspective completely. The best career route for me is clinical psychology from the research that I've done, and I'm planning on doing a PhD in clinical psychology. So I've done my bachelor's, I'm going to go on to assistant role, and then I'm going to go on to a PhD. And it is all thanks to sort of the organisations that gave me an opportunity to work with them. I didn't have to think twice when I was writing that nomination. I mean, from the first day that I started, my first impression of Mind was made through Donna Hudson, and she is a ray of sunshine. She was practically the sweetest person that you could ever meet. I came into Mind office, I met Reshma and I met Natalie, and I saw the company culture, and I saw the way people interacted, and I saw the activities that you planned for clients, and I saw the impact that you had, and I was in awe. It's not just one avenue that you have so many paths, and you cater to so many individuals that sort of cater to all demographic, whether they're young or older or elder adults, which is really, really amazing. And because of that, and I also saw, which was really good, that you cater to SMI sort of individuals as well, so severely mentally ill. Having that company culture was really, really interesting to see, and really, really sort of, it helped me, just the words just flowed out in that sense, because I felt so comfortable being here. Every time that I had any query, any time I had any issue or any sort of setback, Natalie, Donna, my supervisors were there in a heartbeat, were happy to help in a heartbeat. Reshma, community companions, all the individuals from there, whether it was to do with MIMOC, whether it was to do with sort of adhering to GDPR policies, or however it was, there was always, I was never left barren. I was always sort of supported in every way possible, whether it was to do with my own voluntary experience as a person as well, my expenses, my travel, everything was sorted out, everything was catered to, and it made it the perfect placement. You offer several sort of very, very interesting trainings for clients or volunteers. I took a mental health training, dementia training, I did site training here, and all of them were amazing. It was really fun, and they're like 2 to 3 hours long, and that kind of just adds into your experience, and that way you're not just focusing on just helping one client, you're kind of expanding a little bit more into the organisation, and that's kind of what the organisation looks for as well in that sense. I know I've talked about my befriending a lot, which is probably what I would reflect on the most, because that's the most sort of success I've seen in my work here. My very recent client, my previous client actually, that was probably the most successful sort of experience I've had, because to give a bit of context, they recently came to England from Pakistan, and they had a case of domestic violence, and they were referred to Mind by their social workers, and I clicked with her like she was my sister. And it was amazing, because I was able to not just connect with her as a friend, but also help her in issues that she was having. She wanted sort of immigration advice, and I would take her to an immigration appointment. She wanted to be more involved with the community, so I would take her to a local community centre like Millside Community Centre, and I would show her that these are the sort of activities available. And then Mind appreciated that by sort of doing a case study on me, and I was presented in front of the board of trustees, and that the whole recognition, the whole sort of journey, I would say. That was the highlight. I wouldn't just pick one particular moment, I would pick the whole experience as a highlight. The fact that I was brought in front of a whole board was a very sort of astonishing experience, because at the same time I was like, I did this. So it's really nice to see that you're being recognized for what you're doing as well.